I need to do this. Well, this is.
I mean, I think that's just a.
That's what we
I
do.
think the statute, the way it's written is terrible. Because I don't think it uses either word confirm or.
And typically,
Well, either way, we don't.
Correct. You're approving, which is just kind of one step. All right. Whose language is that?
all we're doing, they give them permission to go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Tuesday, June the 8th City Council meeting. I now call this meeting to order. If you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reading from Daniel 9:17. Now therefore, O God, hear the prayer of thy servant and his supplications, and cause your face to shine upon your sanctuary. Would you bow with me in prayer? God, we ask for your wisdom and guidance in the decisions that we need to make tonight. In your name we pray. Amen. We have no special presentations this afternoon. Could I have a motion on the minutes? We have a motion on the minutes with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman, Councilman Byrd. Councilwoman Dottley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
That's 8 yeses.
the ayes have it. Turning now to ordinances on final reading. Madam Clerk, since these are both on final reading, would you please read 5A and B together, please?
An ordinance, item A, an ordinance providing for an interim budget and appropriating funds for the usual and ordinary expenses of the city government for the months of July, August, and September 2021, pending the adoption of the 2021-2022 annual budget. Item B, an ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located in the 1100 block of West 33rd Street as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Councilwoman Burrs,
Move approval.
we have a motion on the floor to approve items 5A and B with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Burrs, Councilwoman Dottley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
8 yeses.
So moved. Mr. Bridger, would you mind to join us at the podium in the event that you're needed as we move into our planning items for this afternoon? Moving now to item 6A, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part Two, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone part of a property located at 900 Birmingham Highway from M1 manufacturing zone to M2 light industrial zone.
Is the applicant present? Okay. Is there any opposition present? Seeing no opposition to this, what's the pleasure of the council? Councilman Vice Chair Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is in your district, and with no opposition, I move approval.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion on the floor to approve item 6A with a proper second. Questions or comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd? Yes. Councilwoman Dotley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs? Councilman Hester? Councilman Ledford? Councilwoman Hill?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Henderson?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion carries 8-0. Now moving to 6B, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part Two, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone part of a property located at 4905 Highway 58 from RT1 residential townhouse zone to R3 residential zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition present? Mr. Vice Chair?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. John, would you mind reading the certain conditions into the record, please?
Sure, be happy to. Just 1 second. Okay, basically it's one condition subject to the building height limited to 2.5 stories or 35 feet.
Great. I spoke to the applicant earlier today. They are amenable to this condition, and with no opposition, I move approval.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with a proper second to approve item 6B. Questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill?
Yes.
Councilman Ledford? Councilman Hester? Councilwoman Burrs? Councilwoman Dotley?
Yes.
Councilman Byrd? Vice Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Henderson?
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. C, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part Two, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 5048 Urban Road from R1 residential zone to A1 urban agricultural zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition present? Councilman Hester?
After careful consideration, I spoke to the applicant, I spoke to neighbors. And at this point, I think we're gonna have to deny that request. It changes the total dynamic of the neighborhood. In time, maybe we'll revisit this. Thank you.
Is that in a form of a motion, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to deny with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd? Councilwoman Dotley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs? Councilman Hester? Councilman Ledford? Councilwoman Hill?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Henderson?
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion to deny carries 8-0. Moving now to 6D, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part Two, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to lift condition number 5, all existing easements be retained from ordinance number 11522, a previous case number 2004-0016, from property located at 8001 Volkswagen Drive, more particularly described herein.
Is the applicant present? Okay, is there any opposition present? Councilwoman Burrs,
Move to approve.
we have a motion on the floor to approve 6D with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill?
Yes.
Councilman Ledford? Councilman Hester? Councilwoman Burrs? Councilwoman Dotley?
Yes.
Councilman Byrd?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Henderson?
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. 6E, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part Two, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 2500 and 2502 Bailey Avenue from R2 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse zero lot line zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition present for this item? Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Seeing Councilwoman Coonrod is not in attendance. John, you want to read the conditions for us?
Sure. It's approved subject to one condition, parking to the side or rear only and access from the existing alley.
Very good. Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes.
8 yeses.
Motion to approve 6E carries 8-0. F, please.
In order to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 2314, 2316, 2505, 2509, 2510, and 2513 East 17th Street, 2500 and 2513 East 18th Street, 2420 and 2502 East 21st Street, 2005 South Lowry Street, and 1607, 1611 South Watkins Street from C2 Convenience Commercial Zone, M1 Manufacturing Zone, M3 Warehouse and Wholesale Zone, and R2 Residential Zone to C3 Central Business Zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant for this request present? Okay. Is there any opposition to this request present? Councilman Ledford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will field this one again for Councilwoman Coonrod. John, you want to read the conditions and I'll ask the applicant if they're amenable?
Sure. I made it, it's a pretty long list. It's about 3 pages. So, but maybe,
Yeah, It's only 6:10. Go for it.
okay. All right. Okay, so I'll start, this subject to following conditions, prohibited uses, areas 7, 8, 9, and 10, shown on the attached map, audio-oriented uses, alternative financial institutions, liquor stores, adult-oriented establishments as defined in section 38, just 568, or kennels shall be prohibited. Item B, under prohibited uses, areas 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, and 14, as shown on the attached map, residential uses only, all other uses prohibited. Okay, then under setbacks, we're fronting a public right-of-way for new multifamily buildings, 3 stories in height or greater, and for all new non-residential buildings, a minimum 0 setback and maximum 15 setback may be permitted if an intentional public space or pedestrian activity space is provided between the building and right-of-way, such as a park, plaza, outdoor dining, or sculpture garden. Required stream buffers supersede minimum and maximum setback requirements. Item B, under setbacks, we're fronting a public right-of-way for new single-family detached duplex, townhome, and multifamily structures. Building setbacks shall be consistent with all new residential units on the same side of the street, not to exceed 15 feet from the right-of-way. Now, item number 3, for height requirements for areas 7, 8, 9, and 10, there's a map that's attached to this ordinance that defines where these areas are. The minimum height of new non-residential buildings shall be 18 feet. Item 2, for 7, 8, 9, and 10 areas is that maximum height of all new non-residential buildings shall be 4 stories. Item number 3, maximum height of all new single-family buildings shall be 3 stories and 45 feet. For areas 2, 3, 5, 6, 11, 12, and 13, the maximum building height shall be 3 stories or 45 feet. Item number 4, access to sites and buildings. New curb cuts shall be permitted on the primary or highest order street when used to access existing or newly created alley that supports rear-loaded residential dwellings that front a secondary or lower order street. B, alleys where they exist shall be used as a principal vehicular access. Item number C, in the absence of alleys, secondary or lower order street shall be used as a principal vehicular access. The creation of an alley with access from a primary street to rear-load residential buildings fronting a secondary street shall be permitted as an alternative to the use of secondary or lower order streets for residential access. Item number 5, off-street parking. New off-street parking shall not be permitted between a building and the primary street frontage. Item B, for new construction of a primary building or improvements altering more than 25% of the parcel that is covered in pavement, including gravel, impervious surfaces, and pavers, the following is required. Garages for new residential dwellings shall not front any primary streets. Number 6, street frontage where a street edge is required, it shall be provided as follows. The street edge shall have a minimum height of 3 feet and a maximum height of 4 feet above grade and shall consist of brick, stucco, stone walls, or an evergreen hedge with a minimum height at a maturity of 3 feet. And number 2, highway style guardrails and security fencing shall not be permitted except for existing highway style guardrail in the main street right of way adjacent to C3A. B, ground floor or openings, doors, or windows shall constitute a minimum of 50% of the ground floor facade area for new non-residential buildings. Item number C, 80% of the ground level building facade for new non-residential buildings facing primary streets shall be designated as leasable space and shall not include parking lots. Item I, the remainder of the ground floor may be designed to incorporate parking, provided the parking is completely screened for public view.
John, can you read that again slowly?
Sir, can I have a glass of water, please? Yes, I said, you're getting me back. I see that.
A
That's
lot of-
good.
Uh,
I appreciate that.
Very important project in District 9. I know a lot of thought has gone into this. Is the applicant amenable to the conditions? Then I will move to approve, Chairman.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve 6F with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? If not, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Byrd, Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved.
Chairman, if I may, want to add a note as a setup for next couple of months, we're actually doing a C3 text amendment, so we don't have to do this every time.
Oh,
So
good.
just know this is the why we're doing it. So it creates a more tip standardized process, so they're not having to create conditions for every case. So just know that's coming your way.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, let's take 6G now, please.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, Article 16, Downtown Chattanooga Form-Based Code, Division 11, Signs, Section 38,753, Signs Type, Sign Types 2, Projecting Signs, and A, Max Square Footage.
Councilman Ledford.
Move to approve, Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Byrd, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion to approve 6G carries 8-0. That gets us through our planning items for this afternoon. Now moving into resolutions. Madam Clerk, with no objection from the council, I would ask you to read 7A and B together, please.
Item A, a resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a first agreement to exercise option to renew with Hamilton County Mental Health Court in substantially the form attached for the continued use of 108 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center located at 5705 Uptown Road, identified as tax parcel number 157M8012 for an additional term of 2 years through the date of June 30, 2023, for the amount of $2,376 per term. Item B, a resolution authorizing a seventh supplement to resolution number 22629, providing for the issuance of City of Chattanooga, Tennessee Electric System Revenue Bonds, Series 2021, for an amount of $275 million.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move approval.
We have a motion on the floor to approve items 7A and B with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Byrd, Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion to approve 7A and B does carry 8-0. Moving now to the mayor's office. Madam Clerk, would you please read under 7C, the original version that we read at our agenda session, please?
Yes. A resolution confirming the mayor's reorganization of the government plan.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
We have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion to approve 7C carries 8-0. D, please.
A resolution confirming the mayor's appointments of the following charter position: Fire Chief Phil Hyman, Police Chief David Roddy, City Finance Officer Daisy W. Madison, and Interim Treasurer Tanikia Jackson for the City of Chattanooga.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move approval.
We have a motion on the floor to approve 7D with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
That's 8 yes.
motion carries. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, that were just appointed to your positions. Miss Daisy, you have anything to say? I just kidding. Okay. 7E, please.
A resolution confirming the mayor's appointments of Leanne Kenny, Clifton McCormick, and Piper Stromet to the Chattanooga Historic Zoning Commission.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Burrs, Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
so moved. Now, Madam Clerk, under Public Works, if there are no objections, Public Works and Youth and Family Development, would you please read F, G, and H?
Item F, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew year 3 of a 4-year term for the blanket contract for professional services for the continuing on-call environmental consulting services for its asbestos-led indoor air quality and other environmental assessments. Contract number E19002-301 for the following 8 consulting firms. 1, S&M-E Inc., 2, Alternative Actions Inc., 3, Spectra Tech Inc., 4, KS Ware and Associates LLC, 5, GLE Associates Inc., 6, Insafe Inc., 7, Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions Inc., and 8, Frost Environmental Services LLC for an amount not to exceed $350,000. Item G, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Hamilton County relative to the Court Community Service Program for fiscal year 2021 through 2022 between the city of Chattanooga and Hamilton County for an amount not to exceed $60,000. Item H, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Youth and Family Development to enter into a concession services contract with Top Shelf Concessions to provide reasonably priced concessions for the Warner Park Softball Complex, Warner Park Pool Summit of Softball Complex, and various recreational programs and events.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to. Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve items 7F, G, and H with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
8 yeses.
motion carries. Now moving to purchases, council, if you will pull out your purchase sheet. Chief, if you'll come to the podium.
Yes, sir.
Review tonight's purchases, sir.
Yeah, we have 6 purchases tonight. The first is Waste Resources Division, new blanket contract for flow meter instrumentation, maintenance, support, and replacement. Contract is for 12 months with the option to renew for 2 additional 12-month terms. Out of 4 bidders, the award will go to Tri-State Electrical Contractors as the best bid meeting specifications with an annual amount not to exceed $70,000. The second is also with Waste Resources Division. It's a purchase of 1 motor control center and 1 non-automatic transfer switch. Out of 4 bidders, the award will go to Inline Electric Supply as the best bid meeting specifications with a cost of $225,425. Third, we have Facilities Division, first of 2 renewal options with PPG Architectural Finishes and Sherwin-Williams for paint and paint supplies. PPG Architectural Finishes submitted a 17% price increase at the time of renewal for a new annual amount of $90,000. The increase is recommended for approval. Next is citywide services, new blanket contract for masonry materials for local pickup. Contract is for 12 months with the option to renew for 2 additional 12-month terms. The original bid opening date of May 20th, 2021 received only 1 bid. Direct solicitations were sent to 8 vendors. The bid was re-advertised with a new bid opening date of May 27th, 2021, and there were no other bids received. Therefore, the award will go to TT Wilson Company as the best bid, meeting specifications with an annual amount not to exceed $35,000. Number 5 is citywide services. Second final renewal with Evans Lumber Company for lumber and lumber products. Evans Lumber Company submitted a 51.6% price increase at the time of renewal for a new annual amount not to exceed $75,000. The increase is consistent with increases from all suppliers of building materials throughout the market. The increase is recommended for approval. And finally, we have from the purchasing department, the second final renewal with Interstate Business Solutions, Staples Business Advantage, and American Paper and Twine for multipurpose printing paper. Interstate Business Solutions submitted 11% price increase at the time of renewal, and American Paper and Twine submitted a 14% price increase at the time of renewal for a new annual amount of $60,000. The increases are recommended for approval. We have no RFPs tonight, and we do have 1 emergency purchase.
What's the pleasure of the council? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve tonight's purchases with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Byrd, Councilwoman Dockley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
8 yes.
motion to approve carries.
Then shall I read the emergency purchase?
Please.
The Recreation Division of Youth and Family Development bypassed the normal purchasing process and initiated an emergency purchase with Landscapes of the South for irrigation repair at the Summit Ball Fields. The emergency repair was necessary to prevent additional cost for future repairs of the grass portion of the fields. The amount of the emergency purchase was $4,576.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That concludes tonight's purchases. Under committee reports, do I have any committee chair at this time that needs to report? Okay. Moving now to other business. I think we do have 1 appointment tonight to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Councilman Hester?
I recommend the approval of the appointment of Rudolph Fawcett to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Very well. Madam Clerk? You have that on record?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. That concludes tonight's agenda. We now do move to persons wishing to address the council. This evening, do we have anybody that would like to address the council? Would you just raise your hands and, okay? All right. Madam Attorney, would you read the rules, please?
Any people wishing to address the council tonight should form a line in front of this podium and wait to be recognized by Councilman Henderson. Please speak into the microphone, limit your comments to 3 minutes, and speak only about matters that are within the purview of this body's legislative and quasi judicial authority. Thank you.
Mr. IT, would you put us 3 minutes on the clock? And we would just ask you to come ahead and give us your name and district number, please. Hold on till we get our 3 minutes up here. Okay, we're ready to go.
Mariemont, District 8. It is not light that we need, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. Frederick Douglass. This time last year, I wasn't in this body. I was in the streets with so many people because we are dealing with a reckoning of systemic racism, racial bias, prejudice, and the fact that for 400 plus years, my people have been oppressed. And I stand here because there is an opportunity for Chattanooga to be different. And that is what I ask. Women were raped under half of this council's watch. Black people were brutalized. Like Frederico Wolf, by Benjamin Piazza, who was white and got nothing but desk duty. He wasn't fired. I found that more police officers that look like me have been fired, while white male police officers get adjusted duty or the pleasure to resign and go be police officers somewhere else. How hard is it to be Black and to be a police officer? How hard is it to just be Black? And so this is an opportunity because we can do away with the old guard of a police chief and have an opportunity, if we put a halt to it, and give credence to the public of what we demand in the next police chief, and one that will not uphold a culture of white supremacy and patriarchy, such as when the women within the CPD came forward and named Ricky Ballard as a person who sexually assaulted them as cadets. You gave him a last chance agreement to be a police officer. Women are not respected or protected, not only in the community, but even under the badge. We need change. And so the people need the right to ask questions to the candidates who are going to be at the forefront of who's going to be the next police chief. We need the opportunity of families of people who have been beaten and murdered to question those people about what will they do different. We need a council that will be supportive of measures. Do not say George Floyd's name. Don't you dare ever post 8 minutes and 46 seconds if you remain indifferent and if you do not do anything that will bring forth change. It is disgusting that women came forward in 2016 after 2015, and it ain't funny. It ain't funny. After 2015 and being raped, and nothing happened until people like me pressured you to do something different. Please give us the opportunity to ask questions to the next police chief candidates. That's all I ask, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Reverend Ann Jones Pierre. I'm the current president of the Chattanooga-Hamilton County branch of the National Association for Colored People, NAACP. First of all, what I'm speaking of tonight is an item that comes before this board because you approve the hiring or reorganization of the government, hiring of employees. So the Chattanooga branch of the NAACP is calling for an 11-member Chattanooga Police Vetting Committee to assist in the selection for a replacement of the retiring Police Chief Roddy. Community members who represent a cross-section of the community should be chosen to review and make recommendations for a new person from those individuals who apply for the chief of police job. At least 2 of the members of the committee should be those who have had interaction with the police department to give a wider perspective of the needs of the residents of Chattanooga. A new police chief should be one who is interested in the community and a part of the community in the attitude that is displayed to the residents and to the officers that will carry out their policing responsibilities. The current employees of the police department and any other individuals who possess a community-oriented spirit and the desire to be innovative in policing should be considered. We offer our congratulations to Chief Roddy on his upcoming retirement and much success in any future endeavors. We have with us tonight a couple of members from the executive committee of the NAACP. And the NAACP was founded in 1909 and is the largest civil rights organization in the world. We come to you tonight because before something gets out of the bag, let's stop it here and make sure this is a good city for everyone to live in. I've been here more years than I want to say, and I want to be able to walk down the street and not be shot at. We need to have a different way of looking at policing. We need to have a different way of looking at our community and how we interact with each other. I hope you will consider that and that you will do everything in your power to make sure that this is fair and equitable to everyone when a police chief is selected. I also invite all of you to join the NAACP and fight for civil rights.
Good evening, and my name is Ezra Harris, and I'm president of the Woodmore Neighborhood Association. And I do want to say to all of you, I appreciate what you do. It's a daily job, it's a tedious job. And as I told my past Councilman Russell Gilbert, I would not have the job. But I do appreciate my Councilman, Ike Hester. What I come to you today for is because of the fact that I have received 26 complaints concerning a house on Woodmore Lane. It is 703 Woodmore Lane. This house is being used for some type of wayward men that are living there, some type of Burke's living facility. And on the weekends, cars park all along the right side of that house there in front on the roadway on Woodmore Lane. So I've gotten 26 complaints. Today I got 2 more complaints. And I have contacted Burks about this matter, and of course, he hasn't returned my call. And I've also written the owner a letter in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And I'm bringing this matter before you because I'm asking you for the help so we can do something about that. I don't know how the house managed to get in our neighbor without anyone knowing about it, but it's become a nuisance now. And if you would, please, and I hope I didn't throw Mr. Hester, I hope I didn't throw you under the bus, but we need to do something to address this pretty quickly, okay? Thank you so much.
Mr. Harris, before you leave, Joe, to the gentleman right behind you, could you get with him, sir,
Okay.
when the meeting's over? Joe,
Okay.
do you mind getting with Mr. Harris?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sylvester Harris, 3300 Curtis Street.
Good to see you, Mr. Harris.
Hey, good to see all y'all and congratulations to Bird. He's my councilman in my neighborhood, and congratulations to everybody that won and the new people too. And I'm looking forward for y'all doing a good job of making this city all it can be, because that's the main thing. One thing I want to address, what they talked about policing, and I appreciate Mr. Bird, he nominated me for the Police Advisory Board. Yeah, we got problems. And what we got to do is all work together in the city. We meet the first Thursday every month. Some kind of way we have to invite some of the people, the NRCP and others that wants to come and attend this when they can see how this is run. I'm for everybody. I don't care if you black or white. If you're being abused by the police, we got to do something about it. That's just the bottom line. We can't live in this country and, have that kind of activity. Yes, we got some bad apples. I see it. A lot of times I ask for the body cam. I say, I want to see it because I want to see what happened. I don't like everything I see. And sometimes some things you see is, it's hard to be an officer. I'm going to tell you, I see some things that I said, if I was an officer, I don't know if I could handle it. But that being said, we got to work together. We got to come together and try to weed out the bad apples and bring in the good weeds and, the good flowers, and we can all move forward. That's a hard job, but it can be done. This is America, one of the best countries in the world. And if we can't do it, it can't, it's sad. We got to move forward. But I would like people to attend some of these meetings we have the first Thursday in every month, and see for yourself what we're doing. I'll bet for you. I don't care what color you are. If you're being abused by anybody, especially the police department, somehow let us know or let your councilman know, and they will get with us and we'll try to look into this and see what happened. That's the best we can, try to do. But we can make this happen. Nobody shouldn't live in fear, by the police or anybody. If you got a problem, let your councilman know and we'll try to work. Because a lot of times people are scared to step forward because they scared to be intimidated. But if you are, just step forward, tell your councilman, and we'll work together as a team and try to make, you be safe as you can possibly be in this, this city. because Chattanooga can be a good city. I was looking at something, it was saying that, and I don't know how old this was, but we was third in I think in homicides or something, they said. I thought, oh, that's terrible. We got to work hard, and with the new administration, hopefully everything will get better. Thank y'all for y'all time, and congratulations to the new.
Mr. Harris, you want to let everybody know where and what time you meet?
We starting to meet here inside the, what you call that room over there?
The conference room here?
The conference room every Thursday, not the first Thursday in every month, first of the month, every Thursday. Put that on your calendar
What
at
time?
9 o'clock.
None? Okay.
9 o'clock.
Thank you,
You know,
sir.
be free to come. Yeah. I don't make rules. I just go by 'em,
But,
you know.
thank you,
So, I
sir.
mean,
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Okay, thank y'all.
All right, anyone else that would like to address the council this afternoon? Anyone else? What's the pleasure of the council? We're adjourned.